Whoa. It is going to start any minute now. How's everybody doing today? I have Flex with Metal Yoshi.
Yep, this is Metal here. I'm co-commentating with Hefplex.
Yeah, and we have Friskiest versus Rasern for the winners finals. Winner goes to the grand finals. This is a big race, to put it lightly.
Yep. Two excellent runners. You know, both of them have come from like the very the very bottom, no background at all, and you know they've been practicing virtually every day, watching us doing their own things, and yeah, they're already close to the top. So
we have a Mario selection from Rasern, very nice. And that evens them up on the feeds, even though they're not the same speed.
So yeah, that's just a minor inconvenience. So in case people are asking, the primary character of choice for this speedrun is Waluigi. He has the fastest swings animations overall, and this is especially prominent with putting.
Nice bird. Very well done.
Yeah, and the point of this category, by the way, is to just finish all 6 of the courses in the game as fast as we can. Doesn't matter what we do on the side or any of that.
Yes, but not just finish, because the key aspect is that in order to unlock each tournament to progress, one has to have a winning score. They have to win.
If you don't win, is that really finishing though? Come on. But I understand that you have to do. You have to specify that, or else some people won't. As Friskiest also gets rain on too, which actually trims his lead a little bit. Sadly, because rain is hard to deal with in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean that's the game's method of progression. That's not us, because otherwise people would be asking, well, why don't you just literally duff your tee shot and give up every single hole? And well, that's because when you do so, you incur stroke penalties, and these stroke penalties would prevent you from winning and advancing. So yeah, 3 for 3 for both of them. This is a fast and furious start.
Really in sync on the fairway. Look at that swing. In sync.
Yep, so both of them have different flags. There is some aspects of randomness that come up, as to be expected. Of course, there's differing weather. Although in Lakitu you do not start with any wind at all, but there's still the possibility of getting one of 2 random pin locations selected that is frame dependent on when you load the hole.
Yeah, and you also see that Toad in the bottom right's getting RNG out for every bad lie and good lie. It can go upwards of like ±1 to ±15, but not at this course because there's not like rocks or anything. But
right, and yeah, the more that you club up, then the more potential volatility that you have with the power of each of your shots, and then this also shrinks the timing upon which to strike the impact zone timing. So this is one of those games, golf games, that has a 3-tap system. So the initial tap, starts the meter along, then you set power, and then it comes back, and you try to time it as close to where the meter started as possible, and that is, referred to as the sweet spot. And if you miss the sweet spot early or late, then your shots will deviate one way or the other. Oh!
Very well done.
That's got to be disappointing for Frisk there. Kind of thought that was
unfortunately lost it because of the -1, which is funny because it would look like if he had less power it would go in, but that's just the way this game works with the strats that we find. It's very, very delicate the way it hits the pin.
Yeah, some of it definitely. There's the differing amounts of run that can be achieved just because of the slope gradients and how the ball interacts with them. There's some shots that will pretty much just kind of sink down dead, and then there are others that will bounce counterproductively.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get as Friskiest gets the birdie in the rain.
Lots of rain so far.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding, this game would surely be about 1 out of every 8.
Nice shot.
Yeah, meanwhile, I don't think it's that uncommon to see 2 rain holes per course.
I mean, that inherently makes sense. You're playing at least 16 holes out of the 18.
Yeah, that is true.
Nice shot.
+1 really helps here.
Yeah, both players pulling out their biggest drives so that they then have the chance to pursue the rare eagle here.
We get the rare overshot of the green from Rasern on hole 9.
Yeah, so that's another case of them getting the two different flags. The right flag is a further shot away, so maybe perhaps misremembered and played the shot as if it was right flag, and that's the one that Frisk got, and yeah, managed to steal his eagle there.
That would make sense. Frisk has a decently hard putt on 10. That's flat, never mind. That's just the way this game works.
Yeah, right side of the green is not too bad. So, yeah, you can totally get away with pretty much just playing short and rolling flat. Yeah, have they gotten the same cup on any hole? All it goes by so fast.
I believe they got the same cup on 2, but it was raining, and then 3 was different. 4, I don't remember. No, 4 was definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
Nice bird.
5 is just that hole that I don't pay attention to.
Yeah, it all goes by in a blur.
Rasern, I mean, Frisky hitting the eagle / hole 1 strat on 12.
Ah, yeah, so he sets up, so, there are some potential shots that you can set up, mostly uniquely to this course just because there's no wind at play, so this game is deterministic, and if you're able to set up identical shots and the distance variation doesn't come up, then the ball will behave identically. So that is a beautiful hole-in-one on the right flag for Frisk for hole 12, and he now has significant leverage with which to intentionally take the duff and the penalty from hole 13 to not play it, and this saves a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, and he also already has the birdies to skip another par 5.
Yep, typically you can miss 2 birdies and still have that opportunity. Because cutoff to win this tournament is +6, and so then that enables. Let's see. So then if you have 20 strokes and penalties, so then that would leave 14 birdies. And that's a skill that that runners will have to kind of keep track of, just like your simple blackjack math, to ensure that they can optimize the time save that they get from skipping holes. And some of the very top runners will actually try to skip 3 holes on this course.
Try and fail, I may add.
Yeah, you need a multitude of holes-in-one and eagles just to even do, like, 3 par 4s.
If you're wondering how much you would need, it's 5 eagles or hole-in-ones without any pars minimum.
Oh, and that's for 2 4s and a 3.
5s and a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right.
Frisky's not going to make the green on 18.
Yeah, he's definitely playing too low on the, to an elevated green, and has caught a colder ball there. Rasern has to play 17 out.
Yeah, what Friskiest was trying to go for there was if you land in the rough, you get a bigger club to get to the green, which is faster, and also the ball flight's lower. But it's very risky because obviously the distance control is very hard to keep track of.
Yeah, and just natively in general, you will stand to lose a good 20% of your potential power out of rough than if you were from fairway. So that necessitates clubbing up further and increasing the volatility of your shot even further.
Now we are at Cheap Cheap where there is wind, so don't expect to see as many strat attempts as previous. See some more relaxed golf most of the time. Although on the front 9 you may see some shenanigans by Frisky, because he goes for some stuff.
Yeah, though, Rasern has definitely been doing his research too, so maybe he'll take his chance at intentionally playing some roughs.
You can see the nerves kind of getting to Rasern too, because he didn't get the 5-5 and he just mismenued there. Just wobbly stuff, but to be expected.
Yeah, well, that's minor for the time being. I always stress it to everyone that these runs come down to endgame.
Absolutely.
Nice.
You know, whether it's optimizing your blooper base so that you are able to attain the 50 birdies that you need to unlock Starboot, and then making the most of Starboot thereafter.
Yes, and Starboot, who is the unlockable character in this run after getting 50 birdies, which we try to do before Peaches, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Hopefully
Yeah, that's
both
yeah. As
will
these
happen.
courses get more difficult, so I always recommend to players to have an absolute minimum of 40 badges coming out of Sans Classic.
That's exactly
which,
what I was thinking too.
Mm-hmm. Although again, you know, this takes a modicum of confidence in its own right. So yeah, so Friskiest did get himself in the rough on the left on purpose to curtail the roll there, and also to sort of streamline the second shot, while still not remaining too far away to seek out green and reg.
Unfortunately, having to use the camera and club up and down to try and see what kind of a shot he needed to play it safe there, which kind of lost him time. But
Yeah, because his lie was a little bit. His lie was quite dicey.
still has that one hole lead though, 1.5 even, because he has a par 3 coming up soon, and he put that would the way the holes work in this game with like time reference is very hard.
I think of it as probably being about 5 strokes.
So we'll go in the rough here on purpose, hopefully getting into a decent enough position to get a 4-wood or a 3-iron.
Yeah, so this has been a relatively recent route development, and okay, so see, whenever I look at this and I try it, there's always a tree in the way. So I guess yeah, it's just a matter of properly positioning yourself there, and you don't want to be too far away because there's water. But on the other hand, you know, if you don't move enough, then trees in the way, or you could even be in a bunker.
Yeah, the way I've hit that tree before, and the way I see it is, I mean, I went for it, and if I par, and the run dies, you know. But unfortunately, in a no reset sort of environment, you can't really have that luxury, because you don't get another chance.
Exactly.
Oh, there we go.
So fortunately, Frisk has a front flag for hole 8. I feel like whichever flag you get, this hole definitely makes a significant difference to how you attack it, because after the relatively easy front, the slope swoops up and gets more volatile in the back.
You're talking about 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, with 8, with the back pin, you got to be very careful not to underhit it, or else you might go in the bunker with a bad lie. And in the front, sometimes the game will over-aim you over the hole. If you don't take care to notice that, you might be 8-meter putt.
Hey, yeah, so Friskiest opts to skip hole 9, which is a slightly different choice than what I typically see.
Yeah, he tends to skip 9 and then play 13. He's not going for like a silly 5-5 or 5-4 stuff right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like 13 is a little more technical than 9 is, and so like maybe there's more time expenditure. But I think a lot of it does depend on what flag you get there as well.
Yeah, near pin on 9 is not friendly.
Very well done.
Yeah, so I mean, hole 9, you know, you have that option if your drive is far enough to either just, you know, play it short and leave yourself a long iron, as Rasern's done here, or to use another big power shot and go over the creek entirely, though it seems to be fastest overall to just play low snappy shots.
Yeah, the lower the better, but sometimes if you play too low, it's volatile as we.
Friskiest managed hole 12 really well there. That hole is very difficult to birdie in rain, as far as my experience goes, because the green is so elevated, and so it's definitely difficult to get distance control and still play it quickly. So even it's very brave to play a low shot up there.
Yeah, you got to think about the rain's going to push it down initially, and then you got to think about how much bounce it's going to get. You got to think about the pin location. You got to think about if you need to hook it or slice it.
Yeah, so strangely, it seems as though like physics in this game, it's like I think the governing theme is the Magnus effect, and whether it's the wind or the rain, things that affect the ball's natural tendency to to rise in the air will is what'll ultimately affect the carry of the shot.
Yeah, I didn't really study physics too much after high school.
Yeah, I mean,
Not me.
nah, I didn't either. But like most other things, I only develop a passion for a lot of these subjects after academia.
That's true.
So Raz skips 13, in contrast, and so the gap will be bridged up a little bit.
Rasern not using power on 14 drive.
No, which is, I mean, it's a fair choice considering that it gives you a longer club to play, and technically maximizing the times that you use your longer clubs is inherently faster, but taking drivers to the greens is quite difficult, especially if you happen to get left flag there, whereas Frisk got what I believe is the simpler flag in the right flag.
Yeah, Friskiest definitely got the easier flag, as you can see, because Rasern just bogeyed. And I don't think he can skip the second hole anymore unless he skips this.
Yeah, +1. Yeah, it would have to be this, but that's a tricky risk.
Not yet. There's no other way. He's not gonna make this putt.
I mean, unless he used it. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're a little ahead of me. So yeah, you definitely had to go up to the next putting strength. You had to go more than 10 meters. So generally, it's a good idea to add upwards of 50% of the distance in play to counter the
for eagle on 17,
resistance.
but Friskiest could not go for it because of rain, sadly.
Rain again, yeah. I mean, with such an elevated, just such elevated shots, it's not a good idea to try to go through that tree line.
It isn't even an idea, actually. I don't think you can do it. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, is it?
I mean, where there's a will, there's a way, but I just would never try it.
Ah, and then Rasern getting the bad lie. And it's a one-frame shot. Okay, he's not fairway.
Yeah, that's what I call a good mistake. So when you have these really low shots, having a slice is actually probably the preferable, is probably the preferable outcome, because it gives you much needed loft that will recover some carry for you.
I'm sure both of these runners are not too enthusiastic about the way their early games went, but they're having a very close race even so. That's the nature of the race. Ooh. 134 away from a lucky eagle. You would love to see that.
Yeah, barely over a foot. So you notice both runners are implementing the Japanese version of the game that came out a month and a half after the American version. It's essentially kind of like a patched version, if you will, and that various things are sped up, whether it's the transitions between holes, and the general aiming is also faster in the Japanese version. So those differences add up to a little over 2 minutes over the course of 108 holes.
You could also move the camera faster.
Yeah, so that's like when I refer to like with aiming, is that the camera pans as you aim, and so that is in and of itself faster.
Yeah, because I think on the American version it just lags so much that it can't keep up with your inputs.
Yeah, it's hard to go back. It's a little hard to go back to.
I haven't tried yet. I'm not excited to.
Yeah, unfortunate circumstances. Rasern gets a dirty lie off the fairway that probably needed a good 3-wood power in order to threaten the flag, but I guess decided to go short.
Lots of dirty lies right now. Somebody did not fix their divots.
Yes, those are people that we in kind terms call jerks.
As kind as we can get.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably Wario.
Yeah, you know. Oh boy, oh boy.
Metal Yoshi Gez.
Ah, yeah, one of my finest memes. So I'm trying to remember what the circumstances were. I think someone asked me to do some kind of Wario impression, and then I just like did some, you know, kind of erogenous voice with him saying things about money and garlic, and people just really loved it. So
how could they not?
Yeah, exactly.
Friskiest is unfortunately missing a 3-meter putt for birdie.
Well, yeah, well these greens are a lot trickier than previous ones were, and the 3rd and 5th greens are no exception.
Absolutely, the 5th green. Unless you get the left pin, you manage to stay on that little chasm.
Mm-hmm.
Going for the eagle strut.
Yep, so hole 7 has a little shortcut, making it one of the few par 5s that one can access under green regulation without the star buff.
Not clubbing down to the 3-wood to approach the green. He's probably going to be very surprised when he bounces over.
Yeah, well, I mean, the plus 1% volatility did not help him at all. But if you get if you get the center flag, the ball will actually stick decently well. And yeah, it gets the eagle, so well played.
We definitely
The right flag, you basically have to use the 3-wood. There's far less room to stick the ball.
Yeah, or you can just lay it up right in that front bunker and just go for the chip if you don't want to like try, but
yeah,
way harder.
Yeah, so like with a lot of shortcuts, you know, you end up kind of shooting perpendicular to the green rather than parallel. With these more technical courses, you want to try to set up your drive so that then you're shooting as parallel to the green as possible, so that you can more safely spam these low time-saving shots to them without, you know, landing short or in a hazard or something else that guards the green.
Yeah, because normally when you come up to the green, there is no bunker because, you know, you're coming from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're coming from the side, obviously it gets in the way. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, and you know, in real golf, Tom Watson was a master of this sort of tactical play. And so, you know, he would intentionally shift himself way to one side of the tee markers or the other, or that he would play to like the very corners of dog legs to have straight shots to greens and stuff. But of course, you know, in real golf, they're all playing such high, lofty shots because the ball rolls so much. Whereas here, we do exactly the opposite. We try to play as low and fast as we can.
Yeah, I mean, if it was not a speedrun setting, we would take the safest shots we could and try to get an optimized score. But unfortunately, optimized score does not equal optimized time in most circumstances, unless you're like
at a high level. Of course, it does. It's a matter of how much time that you take to achieve that goal. Oh,
yeah, that's what I meant.
The Friskiest with an extremely awkward fringe circumstance. Apparently, Waluigi had no stance there and was forced to go ghost. And whenever the game detects that you're in a situation where you can't swing, then you're given half a shot. And half of his putter couldn't make it, so he had to swap up to middle. So that was pretty funny. You don't see that kind of thing very often, especially on the green.
Yeah, this game wasn't like. Is there Ghost in Super Rush? Because like in this game, it's like the game wants to put your character right next to the ball, so it looks like.
I mean,
but
yeah, not to the same extent. You will definitely lose some of the power that you can hit, and you'll probably lose a bunch of loft, but otherwise,
Very
you
well
know,
done.
it's not quite the same.
Yeah, because I mean, in real life, I mean, you have to like be next to your ball no matter what to shoot it. In this game, like simulates not being like having a good shot with just that. So.
Or you know, like if your ball is literally on a tree, then you can take a one-stroke penalty to move the ball because you're declaring the lie unplayable.
Yeah, and this game kind of does that for you in most cases.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Friskiest takes a skip on 15. It's a pretty good choice because the rock can definitely get in your way more so than you would think.
Nice shot.
If he skipped 15 and he skipped 14, that means he's in pretty good shape. 5-4
Yeah.
skip.
Yeah, exactly. So you would have to not only play perfect birdies but also snag the eagle on 7 or elsewhere in order to have the spare stroke skip to par 5. So your cutoff is +3.
Guys are having a really hard time with this shot here on.
Yeah, unfortunately, has awkward slope to deal with since didn't shift his aim far enough left to where it's flatter. That's what I'm kind of talking about with, you know, sort of playing your angles, even if it takes a little bit of extra time to get to that left side.
Even if you get a good lie there is a big rock in the way, and you can't shoot through that. So.
Yeah, and well, I just I generally aim until I see the cactus, and because the cacti actually make for pretty good aiming references on multiple holes. Like another example is hole 7 when you're aiming left to the shortcut and you see the rocks. There's a pair of cacti that you can aim at just for a pretty quick reference.
Nice shot.
Alright, so Friskiest has to make this putt. It shouldn't be that bad, but you never know. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Little
just
overhead. Don't scare me.
Very well done.
nice slow but steady finesseful shot with the wedge and a forceful putt to seal the deal. And he comes out of Sands Classic with 44 badges. That is a pretty healthy chunk.
Yeah, he's not worried about unlocking Boo or not at all. He's just worried about score now and time. So,
Mhm.
and he will be going for skipping the hole 2 par 5 right away. So definitely needs at least a finish. Not an easy task for any caliber runner.
Yeah, so making that decision definitely amounts to confidence because the cutoff to win is +2. And when you opt to skip hole 2, which is definitely one of the most difficult holes for this stage of the run, that you're taking a +10 score, and so you have to make that up later with make up the other -8 later.
Yeah, you're basically banking on your ability to birdie, which I mean, bet on yourself is never a bad thing, but sometimes the bet doesn't fall through.
Yeah, so you're forcing yourself essentially to get the badges that you need for Starboat. You can think of it that way. If you already have 40-odd badges.
What would you say? How far behind would you say Rasern is here? Like a minute?
So I mean, you know, hole count is about 4. So yeah. Let's see.
Maybe even more than, maybe even 2 minutes. Oh god, don't go to bounce here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Rasern.
Oh yeah, definitely lost too much power. That is that camera pan is a bad sign. Also, another bad sign is like when you notice that the sound that the audio feedback that you get from the game has like a slight lag to it. That's like a preemptive bad sign.
Yeah, it's like if you don't hit right on your power accuracy markers, you get like a little boop instead of like boop, you know.
That I never. It's the little things. Yeah, Blooper Bay is a massive step up in is a massive spike in difficulty, and it definitely is. It's the beginning of the end game, really. Even if you potentially, if you don't have Starboat at this point, people might be prompted to ask Well, with 18-hole courses, you've got 54 holes to work with, and if you need 50 birdies, then why not just play the extra holes and grind for the birdies to get Starboot? And the answer to that is, not only are you not guaranteed to get that number of birdies at speed, even a high-level player will probably miss a couple out of those 54, but you're also sacrificing the time save that you get from using give-ups on the longest holes.
Yeah, giving up actually turns out to be way faster than just playing this course with Blooper by a margin. And especially if you can play this fast with Waluigi, Boo kind of becomes obsolete because Waluigi's shots go a little bit shorter.
But I mean, thereafter though, Starboo's power definitely opens up so many opportunities that the time save is pretty substantial.
Yes, because of the power that Boo gets, because of the amount of length that some of the holes are, and the fact that he can reach par 5s under regulation on green. You can get some even better hole skips than Waluigi could even possibly dream of.
Yeah, there's a couple of eagles that are still somehow possible, but they are so incredibly difficult that it's kind of not worth taking the time to set up and try them, and especially just very risky shots on top of that.
Conflict between what is possible and what is plausible.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's important to make the distinction there. So yeah, right. So Friskiest is coming up to hole 9, and I have noticed a recent new trend in that instead of going for the beam strat that I always used to popularize long ago for a chance to eagle, that now people are nudging their aims a little bit right to play a short drive that then opens up a clean avenue with which to pursue the green. Hopefully without that lone palm tree in the way. The thing about Blooper Bay is that there's not that many palm trees, but their placements are so strategically annoying.
Whoever designed this game, first of all, is evil, but also kudos, because the hazards in this game, it's not like Mario Maker 2, where you just see spam, spam, enemy, spam, spam. It's like the bunkers, the trees, everything that could possibly mess you up are just placed in such marvelous spots that if your shot's not perfect, it won't go in. Or if it is perfect, it won't go in. But if it's not perfect, be careful. And it's a very, very cool design, honestly.
Yeah, and just designing around all the different power levels. So that was something that I just remembered I was going to get to with Starboot. Part of the allure is the fact that while Waluigi, his drives without power top out at 209, Starboot tops out at 253. So that represents a more than 20% increase, which absolutely matters. It gives the player more freedom to spam low shots on long holes, especially par 4s, even to a fair extent the par 5s.
And then with Starboot, you have to completely change around your gameplay because your drives are not going to be aimed the same spots, since where Waluigi would aim on some holes, you'd just be going out of bounds.
Exactly. Well, that and the fact that there's the big loopy draw that is a bit of a learning curve, but it's also a tool that could be exploited for further power. So every character has a natural curves to their shots, but by tweaking where on the ball that it is being struck, you can add or negate these curves. And in the case of Starboot, if you add an artificial fade to her natural draw, then you basically then just get a straight push that carries further, because essentially the curve is eliminated.
It actually, when you straighten out curves in this game, it actually makes Bowser the farthest hitting character in the game, doesn't it?
Yeah. So when so Bowser has a giant draw, and when a fade is applied to it, then that new shot does actually carry slightly further than Petey Piranha shots do.
speedrun is also really slow because of the amount of loft his shots have. I mean, not that you would try to speedrun with PD during like an actual run, but a meme run possibly.
But yes, so much fun to use still.
It's not fun when you slice it one frame and all of a sudden you're in lava on Bowser, but that's just me.
Yeah. So I forget to bring up, but oh, delicious putt from Frisk on just to seal 14. But I forget to mention that Blooper Bay. It seems as though there's kind of the inspiration that is taken from the locales of Mario Sunshine. Yeah, you've got the places that have like the boats. The first hole, you've got like you're like the dolphin and all that. You've got dolphin stuff on hole 2. Then you've got the cabana on hole 10. Then you've got the lighthouse on hole 16. And this is the only game where Shadow Mario is playable.
No way, really. What about tennis?
I think so. Yeah, it's not in Sluggers, is he? And every Mario character is playable in Sluggers, right?
Yeah, I mean you can play as like Funky Kong in that game. Although he's not. I mean he's in Mario Kart now, so it's been a long time since I've like religiously played Mario sports games that aren't this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's that. So there's that lighthouse that is by Galado Beach in the in Delfino Plaza.
Caught by Rasern. Oh my god! Off the fairway.
Yeah, that is risky and a half because there was definitely some slope there on the fringe that could have messed things up.
Oh! Did you see that by Frisky?
Yeah, just not. That is robbery.
I know. Oh my god, exclamation point backspin. Well, at least Friskiest has
the Rasern's on 13, which is a hole that has developed a little bit of mimetic status because of the theme of the hole is whales, and I like myself some metal, and so that's the hole that where you split your lungs with blood and thunder when you see the white whale. So yeah, Frisky got himself into a little bit of trouble on 18. That's like the other, big pivotal hole of the course, like the magnum opus. Not long in length, but, very technical. It's like CCF 17, but bigger and badder.
What do you think has the worst lies in the game? Like, where do you always get a bad lie? I feel like it's...
Oh, Badlands.
Which one?
Let's see. Badlands 1 has one of almost every bad lie. Although anywhere you can land on rock is incredibly bad too.
I'm talking about like straight fairway, but the fairways.
Oh, fairways.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing with this game in that it's like, on the one hand, things are deterministic. If you land in the exact same spot, you will get the exact same lie. But on the other hand, getting to that exact same spot, because it is my notion that lies are randomly distributed. But the one thing to notice is that bad fairway lies only start to become commonplace in shifting sands, and I think that they are more frequently placed as you go on. And so, yeah, definitely Bowser Badlands is overall the worst.
Okay. I think Peaches actually has less bad lies than Blooper. Yeah, I agree with Rusty and Shab, but that might just be like my biasness against Blooper.
Yeah, we love PCG. I think it's still like, on a technical level, at least as difficult as Blooper Bay, but because you have Starboo in tow, basically it just becomes your sandbox, since you can take so many shortcuts.
Yeah, that. And you don't
heck, Frisky almost got approach distance on hole 2, so. So yeah, once you get inside 60 yards, then you have access to a lower and faster shot than your typical high wedge to the greens, and this increases your chances of chip-ins tremendously if you can get inside 60 yards.
Rasern accidentally misinput his 18 tee shot, so Hopefully it doesn't get a bogey here.
Nice ball.
Well, I mean, cutoff is +2, so should be okay. Yeah, he's got a good lag. Got a good lag going up there. So yeah, it doesn't even have to tweak impact pointer much of anything.
What a chip! Wow.
And then Frisky hole PCG hole 4 takes a giant bounce off of the fast fairway patch on top of that hill. So either doing that or going down that green pipe takes you to a new area, to a lower area that massively increases your chances at getting the eagle. Oh, that's definitely a little bit of twitch there. Trying to do those short chips can be difficult, but you do have to have a little bit of patience.
And if you look carefully, you'll see that Rasern doesn't have Boo or Peaches, so this race might be decided.
Might. I mean, it could very well be the case that Frisk miscounts and realizes that can't plausibly finish the tournament and would have to start over. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
That would flip it the other way.
Not looking like a good tee shot on 6 for Frisk. Yep. Gotta be careful.
Rain is exceptionally hard to deal with.
Yeah, what I do in rain or shine on hole 6 there is tilt a little bit left so that I can go more towards the center of the green. Give me more room to lay.
Yeah, and you have to know that going more than 3 marks short there will get you on the stem, which is not a great thing. So yeah, that's I forgot to touch on, but a gimmick that starts in Blooper Bay onward are those bluish patches on the fairway that are fast fairway, and they will amplify the amount that the ball bounces and rolls by a significant degree. So they have to be treated with great care.
Oh. I was gonna say something, and then I just saw Rasern go out of bounds on 3, so I got really sad.
Yeah, that's ouch. Yeah, yeah.
He's not putting power on his 3-iron. I don't know what he's doing there, but whatever. Yes, so if you super backspin in this game, you get more bounce. And if you super backspin off of the fast fairway, that bounce is multiplied, and you can do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, you can do such things as potentially bouncing into the green pipe on the first hole with characters that can't actually carry to the pipe, and you can bounce off of a patch of fairway at the end of the 4th hole to bounce onto the green for eagle.
Which I've actually never done.
And you'll have to try it sometime if you're just fooling around. But as I had alluded to earlier, it is possible to threaten eagle on hole 4 as long as it is with Waluigi. Koopa Troopa can do it.
Koopa Troopa can do anything he puts his mind to.
Yes, except being the fastest.
Sadly.
Imagine
if Koopa was fastest butt animations. This game would be. Yeah, I don't know if it would be easier or harder because.
That's a great question because he's so weak that a lot of options are just shut off to you.
Not only that, but I mean, the control is there, but I mean, the hooks and the slices are kind of what gives Waluigi the hole-in-one strats.
Sorry, that was just a notification thingy.
That's okay. So, if Koopa Troopa were to, try to get some, hole-in-one strats, would that be possible? You'd have to, figure that out.
I mean, well, yeah, because you would just have to, slice more, because most of the strats that we have, typically only requires 1 or maybe 2, whereas to achieve the same effect with Koopa Troopa, maybe a 3-frame slicer hook.
Yeah, and if you slice by 3 frames, it's slower because you get more carry. Either way.
Yeah, so it's
interesting to think about. Good thing we don't have to think too hard because it's not reality, but.
So yeah, Frisk went the long way on hole 13. There is what I affectionately call Don plays, and one of such is taking the yellow pipe that is obscured, that is between the hills on the right side, and that will warp you within 10 yards of the green, where you have a chance to chip for eagle. And setting up this shot is potentially as easy as just adding a fade to a 3-wood, but missing that pipe can have dire consequences.
Yeah, because even if you don't go out of bounds, that shot to green is not free.
You've got hills that you have to maneuver around. And then hole 14 is a subject of great fervor and discussion because of it goes so far uphill, and said hill is rocky, and then you have the pipes that are scattered there, so there's not much to aim at. So usually there's so many ways to tackle that hole. And then of course the other hole so fervently discussed is hole 8, that depending on what character you have to do things quite differently. Star Boo shines being able to take a shortcut to the left that circumvents much of the counterclockwise layout, whereas other characters have to try to go out as far as they can, so that they have room with which to get up the mountain with the loft of their shots. You don't want to play too close to it. Decisive chip-in that will definitely recover some momentum for Rasern.
Yeah, you don't want to have not that many birdies on Peaches, because you want to be able to go fast and be able to take a bogey if necessary. With Waluigi, anyway, that's the main plan, because you're definitely not getting like a full skip for the most part, unless it's a par 3 or 4.
Well, if you're playing well enough, I have had videos where I demonstrate every birdie is still possible with every character. It's just a matter of being able to do so at speed. Because as you progress, these holes do run longer.
Risky bad line on 18. Is he still gonna be able to make this?
I have my doubts. Yeah, 244 going that far uphill. Yeah, that's no dice.
He's going for it. -2 is gonna kill him. Get the star. Nice star sound. You don't hear that one. But yeah, dear.
Swoosh! I wouldn't even know where to begin, but yeah, I went in the flowers, and did the pigment come up? I missed it, because that's one of the Easter eggs is when you roll through flower patches, pigment fly out.
He needs to make this putt, or he has to restart. Wait a minute! Oh my god!
Yeah, he had to sink that putt, and
he didn't make it. Oh, he made it! Oh my god! It barely fell in.
Wow! Wow! What a tumultuous ending. Very barely. That hole had sus written all over it. From hitting the star to being in the flower patch to bouncing off the brick to sort of swooping in the cup from the very edge. Wow.
I was wondering why he went for that green shot, but I mean, I understand if you're needing a birdie. I didn't. Yeah,
because if he had to restart the hole anyway, I mean, there was still the chance.
This ball just got carried by the wind. Oh my god.
Yeah, the wind definitely. It's counterintuitive, but a headwind will elevate the ball, and playing a shot that is so elevated means that the ball will carry more in that circumstance. It's kind of like a discus.
Yeah, so the way I think about it, I'm not sure if this is what actually happens, but if the headwind is coming, that means it's going to go under the ball and carry it up. And if there's tailwind, it's going to go over the ball and push it down.
Well, yes. I think of it more as visualize the ball spinning, and so in the case of a headwind, the inherent backspin on the ball in flight that gives it its properties by the Magnus effect. The Magnus effect is amplified in a headwind, whereas a tailwind weakens the Magnus effect.
Nice shot.
See.
So yeah, you'll probably after the match now, I'll be opening up the Wikipedia article for the Magnus Effect and having quite the time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that myself. Actually, like,
Well, that's how you learn, or you always see like STEM YouTubers. They're always pitching like certain things like Brilliant or Skillshare. I'd like to try one of those sometime.
what do they do?
So Brilliant is like some kind of online learning sort of. Ouch, that is a sad underputt there. If Frisky has a bolt in Badlands 3, they probably try to, roll his fingers there to take a short putt and went too short. Then yeah, Rasern clawing away at PCG 15. That hole is all those holes. The entire back nine is horrible in the rain.
Yeah, I've only heard of Skillshare, and it basically is just like making a website. I think, right?
No. So no, Skillshare is online learning. You're maybe thinking of Squarespace.
Ah, yes.
Rasern gets himself into major trouble on hole 16. The issues started when he played his tee shot low, and therefore it couldn't carry enough to advance to the fast fairway and get to a spot where the giant mushroom was in the way, and so then things just piled on thereafter, and Friskiest just recovered like mad on Badlands 5. Had a wood out of the bad lie for a second shot that gave him a big old slice, and then chipped in thereafter and stuff. So, craziness. Yeah, these.
Bury this. Unless he wants
Or the next hole. But yeah, 18 is a difficult birdie unless you opt to try to use a pipe. Yeah, center flag is no picnic, but he seems to be in a good spot. It's just gotta be nice and aggressive. Excellent.
aggressive he was.
Mm-hmm.
Now he just needs to par this hole. Has the power shots to do it.
Trivia, you can actually birdie hole 18 without a power shot. It's hard, but you can. Oh dear.
Over the pipe. He's got a chance.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yes, he hit the pipe. Let's go.
RNG saved him. Then Friskiest. Oh no. Okay, so Friskiest is taking a little risk here, but it's a calculated risk. He's opting to skip hole 8, because trying to navigate that hole in the rain is not nice. And so now he's got to score +5, so he'll have to come up with 5 birdies to return to cutoff.
I have birdied 8 in the rain, but I don't remember really like I need to practice it in rain again. It's very counterintuitive.
Yeah, because it just complicates already complicated shots. Whereas when you play that hole out, typically you would first aim a little bit to the left. There's a tiny fairway spot that is behind the big old lava spewing gargoyle. Yes, lava. But yeah, it's a difficult hole, and so now Raz is starting front 9 and Frisk is on back 9.
We can't hear it because we're not on Rasern's audio. Since he's radio, but he hit the wall going up, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, you can kind of sort of tell a little bit based on how the camera was panned. Frisk is coming up with some nice clutch chip-ins. It's does it rain inside his mouth? So that's one of the graphical anomalies, and that yes, there is still rain that falls inside of not only Bowser's mouth on the 9th hole, but also inside of the pipes in Peach's Castle grounds, where you think they're solid objects and they shouldn't, but I don't know. I guess programming and object tangibility and things that I don't understand.
You never had rain inside you?
Well, not inside me.
I had that too.
All right, so yeah, Rasern on hole 3. Hole 3 is a pretty tough one. The general principle is to try to play your drive to that bluff against the brick wall. Playing too short means that your ball either just won't carry there, or it'll kind of trickle up and it'll land on a patch of grass, or worse, directly against the brick wall. Whereas if you hit too hard, then you'll bounce off and you'll just fall right into the lava, and you'll trigger some horrible noises.
Nice shot.
So it's definitely, yeah, you definitely need to practice to get the balance. Yeah, all the par 5s on this course are just terrible. Hole 13, Friskiest is on hole 13, and that hole is covered with these fences that are way easier to hit than their space would suggest. So it's very hard to play fast.
Friskiest, with the exception of getting a bogey, just needs a birdie.
Giant raid coming off of SpeedGame 6.
Yes, thank you, SpeedGaming.
And what a great time too, because this is a heck of a course to end things on. You know, you've got the Mega Sour Please music, you've got Rasern that falls into the Canyon of Despair, and so here's hoping he has a shot that will barely get up and... Oh, I didn't see where he was aiming, so he's back in the Canyon of Despair. So the choice is to whether to just restart the hole entirely. Yeah, restart the hole entirely. Ouch. Yeah, he was playing birdie golf up to that point, so that is sad. That is a sad circumstance.
Messing up a hole on Bowser's is like water is wet, though. So.
Yep. I'm trying to think of circumstances where water is not wet, because there sort of are, but I don't want to blow too many minds, and also I'm coming up blank. And therefore, by that logic, Bowser Badlands is hard.
Yes. Alright, so without any more mistakes, Friskiest will take this. 3 holes left. See if he can finish it out. Run right around the foot.
Yeah, so so Bowser Badlands introduced a multiple of gimmicks that one comes to know and love from a Mario game, especially a Bowser-themed area, where you've got your boos that impede the ball's flight. You got thwomps that not only block you from the air, but will also swoosh your ball if you land in the shadows. Thwomps that do virtually the same thing. You got piranha plants that'll spit your ball to undesirable areas. List goes on.
Very well done.
Friskiest is going to get a very respectable time here. After all is said and done.
Yeah, so with 2 holes remaining to go, if you play them really exceptionally quickly, it could take about a minute. So this is looking like about a mid 58. Although there's still much volatility to be had here.
Not much, just 1 hole to go, unless this somehow messes up.
Rasern's got facing the magnum opus, hole 8 now. Oh, missing sweet spot is probably going to hurt here, but judging from the camera pan, he should still be in bounds. It's just a matter of where. Catches rock.
Barely in bounds.
Barely in bounds. You will not be able to reach the green from that rough, and there's just too much volatility, so wisely decides to just play a quick shot away. Frisky luckily has center flag out of the 3 possible options. I should mention 3 possible options. For hole 18. The other ones are directly underneath stalagmites and are thus very difficult to play quickly. And Friskiest finishes with a 58-15. Very, very strong time.
Absolutely great
GG.
run, honestly. For all the mistakes he had, being able to keep it together.
Yeah, nothing major. It was a little scary ending, the ending of PCG, but yeah, everything else was composed.
Calm, cool, collected, and goes to the grand finals. Congratulations.
Yep. And then, then tomorrow there will be, most likely, I've seen talks about the next match in the losers bracket, going there, and so however that progresses, then that winner will play Friskiest for for grand final.
Well, we have a few matches to go. We have to get done with a losing
Yeah,
match.
but it's only a few, because I'm
Yeah.
trying to think, because then the progression, yeah, it's I think it's Jamie Scott versus Hopeless,
Yeah,
and then winner
plays
of
Rhino,
that
winner plays Rusty.
plays Rhino, and then Rusty, and then and then it'll be Rasern.
Yep. Basically a step ladder.
Mhm.
Trying to get those matches done. Chop chop.
Mhm. Well, unfortunately, unfortunately, I actually have to take off. Right at this point.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah, I've got a got a little commitment. So I'm just gonna close
We'll
out.
have
But
Friskiest take
yeah,
over
will you
for
be able to?
Friskiest
Will you be able
been
to?
here, bro.
Yeah, you should be able to take things from here. Yeah, will you be able to take things from here, Hef?
Yeah, I Frisky. We're gonna do our the interview. We're gonna talk about Rasern and all that stuff. It'll be fun.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks for joining me
All right.
today for the finals.
Yeah, it's it's amazing fun as always. Just trying to capture these perspectives from other players, and it's it gives you an appreciation for commentary, actually, because all these things happen so quickly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this this has been Meliyoshi, and depending on if depending on what I got time for, I might be able to commentate another match in the future, especially if it's a week on the weekend. So, thank y'all for tuning into this match.
Yeah, hopefully Rasern. I don't think he can PB, but maybe we'll get to see a sub 105.
Yeah, I mean he's recovered. Yeah, he's recovered nicely ever since front 9. So, all right, I gotta head out.
Peace, man.
Peace.
Alright, so whenever Friskiest joins me, I'll be joined, but for the moment, I'll just be sitting here, doing some comms, stuff like that. So you can see Rasern getting a birdie on 13. The gate can get in the way sometimes, so that could be very bad. I think I'm joined by Friskiest. You want to speak? Or are you, okay. Yo.
Hello?
Yeah, you're here.
Alright, hello.
I was the run.
Messy as all can be.
That's the way this game goes sometimes.
Took a few risks. They managed to work out in the end, but I think it was Sans 18. I dropped my save input from my putt, and I thought that was gonna be overhit for par.
Yeah, thank goodness. And then the peach putt was almost slightly underhit, but thankfully fell in.
And then the peach putt as well. Oh my god, this run was alive by a thread.
I would definitely be proud of this run though, because you were still very close to PB for all the mistakes that you made. It just shows potential, and you got the win. So there it is.
Yeah. Looks like Rasern is almost finishing up.
Yeah, he's only got 4 holes to go. 3.
Looks like it might be like a 104.
He'll be able to join us. You're I think all the 18s. You weren't on in reg. Blooper 18. And then
Blooper 18 was also a mess.
Lakitu 18, you didn't make the
Terrible
green.
lie.
Just the whole 18s. Gotta love them. It's so hard for me to remember what went down during the race. I'm not sure if you want to comment on anything. Oh, what the hell is this?
I think I'm just like, this is the same as you, as every whole 18 was just a mess.
Yeah, but otherwise it was pretty good. You hit some strats, right? You hit the strat on 12.
I hit the strat on 12, but got so many +1s and -1s.
Yeah. I know how it feels.
That Lakitu. Feels bad, man.
You were close, like, throughout most of the match, by the way. I believe,
Yeah, has Rasern have any slip-ups yet, or has it just been solid?
Oh, he's been slipping up. But, that's to be expected. I mean, everybody messes up, you know what I mean?
Not. I don't think he'll be able to get a whole skip here, but still might be.
Not yet, whole skip step. Unless he restarts the whole foot. Why bother? Yeah, so Rasern went out of bounds on Sans 18. Had to restart it, I think.
Oh,
Or
that's
no, he didn't.
important.
He didn't go for double whole skip.
Oh.
Never mind. He also went out of bounds once on blooper. I can't remember which hole. Lots of out of bounces. I'm sure he's going to express his displeasure about that, but that will be when the time comes.
I was also a bit nervous, as you can tell on Bowser 3 missing an easy putt.
Yeah, there was another putt that you missed too. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was one more, I think, that was really easy that I just was a little bit nervous for.
Nice shot.
Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking to be in a race setting like this, especially like if you've never had stakes this high. Alright, just needs to get the putt into or 3.
Still
right?
somehow was my best tournament run, but
Just shows you're getting better. And Rasern finishing with a 105, 106-ish. Yeah, it's 105. GG.
yeah, GG.
Let's get Rasern in here. He can talk to us. There are no more games today. There will be one hopefully tomorrow. Rasern, how'd it go?
I can say with confidence that was not my best.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you tried your best. Had some unfortunate mishaps. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I was not hitting marks very well. I also want to say I was pretty unlucky with the amazing amount of bad lies and rain I got, but that does not
Both of
account
you,
for
honestly, yeah.
But that does not account for a 7-minute delta. I just didn't play well.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how one mistake can roll into other mistakes.
Yeah, wish it was closer for you guys.
You can't hurt yourself over that. You made it this far.
I had some fun moments.
Yes.
If everybody in chat didn't get a bingo, I'm going to be surprised.
Absolutely. Out of bounds on Sans 18. That was harsh.
I also got the Pikmin. I'm not. Is that a bingo option? The Pikmin.
It should be.
Yeah, he hit the star on 18.
I hit
and
the
then went
star.
into the Pikmin
You hit
on
the
same
star
hole.
on 18. Oh, that's great.
I had no clue if I wanted to just putt it and hope to get a good lie to make it to the green on the next shot, or try to make it close to the green on that shot. I tried getting close to the green, but then I saw -2%, and
Basically,
I
Friskiest
didn't know what to
needed a
do.
birdie on Peach 18, or he was gonna have to restart.
And I needed a birdie too, so that's why.
He barely
I
made
need
the
to
putt.
make
I
it.
thought he missed, but
Yeah, I took my time with that one. That's for sure.
someone got a double bingo for you, Rasern, because you went into the pit of despair and then you shot it right back in over the cliff into the pit again. The double.
That one was
double pit of
hilarious. Can you think of worse conditions for that hole? Crosswind of 6 meters backwards in your face plus rain?
Yeah, honestly,
that
in that
just sounds
situation, I wouldn't even know what to
horrible.
do. I would probably just like use the camera.
I would have
first
been
and-
fine if I didn't slice the crap out of the ball.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right. Well, both of you had a great race. Don't care if you made all the mistakes in the world. This game is not easy to play in one sitting perfectly and do better
No.
than you've ever done.
I'm really sad because in my practice runs, I hit 3 strats in Lakitu and did not miss a single birdie. I shot like almost a sub 8.
Jeez, I didn't even notice.
I think
Just,
When
I
they were
both of you
offline.
playing so fast.
They were
Oh.
offline.
Oh,
I think I hit the frames for 3 different strats, but 2 of them had plus and -1%.
That's not fun.
yeah. Through Sands was when the lead started to be a little bit out of hand. You were really close through Cheap. I think it was like at least one hole throughout all of Cheap.
I was
Yeah,
one
after
hole
that.
behind through cheap. You're kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and There were 2 holes that I needed birdie on that I nearly missed both of them.
Nice.
So if I missed both of them, and I think this might have been just a different story.
You were up against a wall.
Yeah, like I somehow managed to get a 58 because I made those birdies, but I would have to restart 2 different holes that were as close as can be, to be honest. As
Did you
I
skip
didn't-
13, 14 on cheap? Like, were you that crazy?
You skipped 9.
Okay, you skipped 9. Okay.
on Jeep, or no, yeah,
In
Jeep I
Jeep.
skipped 9, and then I skipped 18. I was considering going
18.
for hole 14, the whole 14 skip, but I wasn't too confident that I would birdie everything else. So
I
just
goofed
decided-
up. I was gonna skip 15 or whatever that par 3 is, and then I immediately bogeyed the hole right before it. I'm like, I can't go for this anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah. Oh well.
Hole
I didn't get to
hole
see,
14's not.
but how many birdies away
Definitely
were you
more.
from Boo on Peaches, Rasern?
Despite how terrible that was, I want to say 3.
Hate to see
And I mean, it
that.
was bad. My blooper was actually decent for once. That was only 5 seconds off gold. And it had some goof ups somewhere. I can't remember exactly what. That was probably the only good part of the run.
You got rain on 9, which really killed it off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got rain on some really bad holes.
I think Lakitu was my only good part of the run. I mean, my balancers was decent, but
Your Peaches wasn't so bad, minus the 18.
yeah. I mean, I guess in my PB, my Peaches was a 4-4 skip, so I'm not gonna beat that anytime soon, probably.
5-4, dang. I'm happy to skip.
4-4.
Oh, 4-4. I was gonna say. I'm
I
happy
don't
to
think-
just skip a
I
par
don't think
5.
you could skip a 5-4 without getting a hole out somewhere.
I think you can get 1 missed birdie.
A
But you have to
5-4.
eagle the par 5s for it to work.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because there's... Well, you skip... In a 5-4 skip, you skip 12, usually, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just a par 5 in general, you know, just 12 or 18.
Yeah.
And then you'd skip mostly 13 or 14.
Anyway, good games.
Good
Yeah,
games.
Well done.
It was fun. I was very nervous for this. I made some dumb mistakes as well, so...
Well, you
you're
have
not
plenty
the
of time to
only one.
rest, you both of you, actually, because we have a lot of matches to get through before we even get close to grand finals.
If I have it my way, I'll see you again in grand finals.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
gonna
really
need to
looking
improve a
forward
little bit
to...
for that. Rusty's coming.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Rusty wants
versus
my blood,
Rasern.
though. Rusty wants the rematch.
Yeah,
I
I'm
cannot
really
wait to see the Rusty Rasern rematch unless
Yeah,
Rhino
I'm really
comes out of the
excited
blue.
for that. That's what I was about to say, because
Yeah.
I'm really excited. for
Rhino's
that
no
one.
slouch. Any one of us
Absolutely.
could get there.
Yeah.
Any other comments? I can't really remember much else.
Rusty, get JP version.
Yeah, that's true. Good comment. Alright, with that, I think it's good to end the episode. So, this has been the winners finals of Mario Golf. GG's.
GG's.
Jeez. Thank you, Rasern, and thank you for the commentary, Halflex and Metal.
Yeah, Metal sadly had to leave early, but no problem.
Sweet.
Alright.